All right, hello and welcome. You're here at our intermediate level nitric oxide release class. We're going to get a good hormone pump, have some fun. So we're going to start down on the floor. If you want to use one of these short bands, we're going to be doing some fire hydrants, some donkey kicks. I personally have a little bit of trouble with this. Some people are better at keeping it on their legs, so I am not going to demo with it, but you are welcome to it. If you have the blood flow bands, we've already added air. And Moose always thinks I put this mat down just for him. He's like, oh, I like the purple one now. I want this one. All right, so make your way to hands and knees. You're going to stretch out those forearms, get a little bit of breathing going, and then we'll move. So go ahead and turn those palms down, spread those fingers nice and wide, and lean on back. All the puppy love this morning. And then rotate those hands in, so those fingers interlace, and our little circular patterns here. Getting some good movement. Oh, and then when you're ready, go ahead and rotate that other direction. Fantastic. From here, if you're able to sit back on your feet, turn the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and sit on back and a nice stretch through those ankles. And then we'll turn the fingers down, back of the hands come together, and draw those elbows down and in. Feel free to close those eyes, breathe about 3 times, nice and deep. And release when you're ready. Fantastic. All right, from here, we're going to be doing donkey kicks on the left leg, fire hydrants on the left leg, and then we'll go to the right leg. So nice wide hand print. Place one hand underneath each shoulder. Square those hips and shoulders. And then donkey kicks are first. So for the donkey kicks, you want to keep a 90-degree angle through the knee. Watch so you don't overarch the spine. And then you're just kicking straight up towards the ceiling. And I can feel as I raise that leg, my low back tends to arch. So you want to really focus on that mid body. Once you know the movement, looking forward, square that head and neck. Breathing in on the down, breathing out on the up. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good job. From here, we'll transition to fire hydrants. So it's a lateral lift of that same leg, lifting that leg to the side. No need to force anything. Just get a nice little activation of those smaller muscles. Good. Still focusing on that midsection. And then check in with your hands. We tend to bring those fingers in close. Spread those hands nice and wide. Take some of that load off the wrist. And activate those small muscles of your forearm. Good. And take a pause. In between sides, take a quick break here. Rock back into child's. Stretch those arms out. Lower that head down. And breathe 3 times into the back of the body. Good. When you're ready from there, coming back up and forward, replant the hands, spread those fingers nice and wide. And now we go to the opposite leg, starting with the donkey kick on your right leg, up and down. Good. Breathing out on the up, breathing in on the down. Excellent. It's our first of 2 rounds. Halfway through, we're going to go to the fire hydrant on this right leg next. Good. Couple more. And then when you're ready, a lateral lift or lifting that leg to the outside. Fire hydrants, they're named after the animals and their position as the dog tries to go to the bathroom on that fire hydrant. So just imagine that lateral leg lift. Except for our male dog, he doesn't know how to lift his leg. That's okay. Back and forward. It was quite comical the other day. I had him out for a walk and he's trying to pee on this tree in like a stagger stance. Final time and rest. Great job. Let's come off those hands. Sink on back into that child stretch once again. As I mentioned, that's our first time through. We're going to do it one more time. So when you're ready, we'll get started here in 10 seconds. Spread that hand out. We're back to our left leg on those donkey kicks. And 2, 1, here we go, up and down. Welcome, Sharon, great to see you. Just gets to be out in the great outdoors. It must be having some beautiful weather in Georgia today. Good. Draw that belly in. So Sharon, watch that you don't arch the spine. You want to keep those arms straight. Don't want to have any bend in that upper body. That's better. 10 seconds left. Eyes looking forward. And we're trying to hold that low back neutral as we lift the leg up. Excellent. And when you're ready, transition those fire hydrants on that same side to that lateral leg lift. Chin in, eyes forward. And watch the tendency to kind of lose that head and neck forward. So try to really lift up through those arms, draw that head back. 10 seconds left. Woo. And 3, 2, 1, and we're back into child's. This time we'll do that supinated stretch, meaning you're going to bring your little fingers together, turn the palms up towards the sky, and then lean back from here. Almost done. All right, when you're ready, coming back forward. Final time, donkey kicks first, starting on the right leg. Draw that stomach in. And here we go, up and down. Yep. The knee stays bent throughout. And the knee just comes to the floor and then up. So I see Sharon trying to go all the way to the elbow. You don't need to go that far, just down to the ground and then straight up from there. That's better. The knee comes just straight back to where it started and up, midline neutral. Nice. Keep a lift up to those shoulder blades. Nice strong extension through those arms. Getting ready for our fire hydrants and transition. Fire hydrants on that right side. Woo. Feeling that burn a little bit here. Breathing in as you lower, breathing out as you lift that leg up. 15 seconds left. Fantastic. All right, couple more reps, down and up. And shake it out. Nice job. Let's come back to that kneeling position. Sitting back on the feet for a moment. Go ahead and shake out those hands and wrist. Roll the wrist around, make a little fist. Excellent. And then turn the wrist the other way. All right, beautiful. We're going to come into down dog and make our way up to standing. So place the hands down for that last time. Coming up through those hips, opening through that mid back, breathing in as you rock forward, breathing out. Draw that chin to the chest as you rock back. And then pedal out those heels. Got some jumping jacks coming up in this next circuit. Or as always, you don't ever have to jump. You can always step if that feels better for your body. Once you've gotten that nice stretch in those calves, walk the feet towards the hand, inch the hands towards the feet, and then just taking your time, coming up out of that forward fold. Fantastic. All right, a little tricep stretch. Next, set the feet about hip width apart. Bend that one elbow, reaching around. Draw that elbow back, and then you're going to bend your torso away from the side that you're stretching. Good. 3 times. Breathing in, lengthen, and breathing out. A little bit of a side stretch here at the same time. 3rd time, we'll add the rotation. Breathe in, lift up, bend to the side, and then a slight rotation, peering up to the sky, past that elbow, and unwind. Good job. In between arms, side step arm swing. As the arms swing back, rotate those palms forward. Super. All right, let's balance out the other side. Chin in, raise that hand up, bending that elbow, and side bend away from that arm. Good, come back. Breathe in, lift up nice and long, maintain that soft bend the knees. 2nd time. Good, back, up, and then 3rd time, you can add that little rotation where I just peer up to the sky or the ceiling. And release. Fantastic. Back to that side step arm swing. All right, we've got a rep scheme today. I just laugh because it always brings me some challenges, but it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Our reps on the thruster is going to be our first movement. It's going to be between 8 and 12. So you can choose if you want to do 8 reps, if you want to get more towards the 12 reps. You can either go no weights for the first round, or if you feel like you can do a little bit of squatting with some weights to get started, we're going to squat in that overhead reach. Let's warm everybody up with about 5 together. So imaginary weights here. Make a fist, arms to those shoulders, elbows up and forward. Knees push wide. I've got my feet about hip width apart. And then as I stand, I squeeze the tush and I reach straight up to overhead. Good. Breathing in as you lower. Breathing out as you drive tall. 3 more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Feet planted, knees wide. Excellent. Final time. Down and drive. Awesome job. Let's grab a drink. And you can either hold one weight in each hand or one weight right underneath the chin. I'm going to do the first round with that weight underneath the chin. After we go 8 to 12 reps on the thruster, you can set your weight down, and it's anywhere between 10 and 25 jump jacks. And then I'll get us regrouped for our third exercise. But first, let's set those feet, slight toe out, elbows up and forward, and when you're ready, between 8 and 12, all the way down, all the way up. Make sure you don't overarch that spine as you reach to overhead. Good. Control into the bottom. Awesome. Eyes looking forward. Good. That's 11. And going for number 12. When you finish those reps, again, set the weight down and either stepping or hopping. Try to get a nice full circle of those arms. So either clap or lightly touch in front of the body and up to overhead. And take us through 10 more seconds. 2, 1, and rest. We're gonna do our stationary lunge next. So eyes up, start with your right leg forward. Nice long step forward, feet are hip width apart. From here, you lower that back knee down, front shin stays vertical, and 8 to 12 is our rep scheme here. Down and up, good. Keep track of your reps on these lunges so you can do the same number when we get to that opposite leg. And in between legs, we're returning to those jumping jacks. Whew. Keep that front heel planted, driving away on that heel. Fantastic. Walking it in, eyes up, and back to our stepper jump jacks. Good, strong breathing. You don't want that heart rate to get quite as elevated, then just take it down to a step. You can always build in a little bit more rest for yourself. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to set up for that left leg lunge next. Toes forward, eyes up. Nice big step forward. Maintain those feet hip width apart. And then when you're ready, control that back knee down, driving on the heel. Lunging over the moose. Woo, good. Breathe through it. I want you to feel it burn in your muscles, but I don't want you to have pain in your joints. So if you're having any discomfort on that front knee, make sure you're keeping that heel planted. That knee's not shooting too far forward. Match your reps that other side, and then we come into our third set of jumping jacks. Anywhere between 10 and 25. I see him. Making sure I don't jump on Moose's tail. Woo! All right, everybody, that concludes our first round. Feel free to grab a drink. We'll be back to our thrusters here in about 20 seconds. So if you can go a little bit heavier on round 2, I'm now going to hold 2 weights, 1 in each hand. Either follow along or count your reps. 8 to 12 is our target range. Just slight toe out. And then when you're ready, sinking into that squat, breathing out as you drive tall. Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful. Push those elbows up and forward. Eyes stay looking ahead. Excellent. Breathing through it. Woo! And back to those step or jump jacks. Woo! Great job. And totally normal, just kind of moving through at your own pace. Good, 10 more seconds here. This is our second of 3 rounds. Good. Going back to our lunges. Right leg begins. You can stay unweighted, or you can also hold a weight either at the chin or at the sides. I'm gonna hold it at the chin. Once you square those hips, we're going between 8 and 12. Front heel planted. Nice. Don't let that knee shoot forward. There you go, Sharon. Nice, Kathy. Looks great, Jean. Maybe 1 or 2 more. When you finish, step or jump jacks, or just dance, breathe, anything you want to do for some blood flow. Ideally with like a little bit of a, kind of like a little shake for your body. Excellent. All righty. Let me get ready for my second leg on the lunge. It'll be left leg now. Looking to square it up, have the same number of reps. Toes pointing forward. Front shin vertical. 8 to 12 is your target. Keep those eyes up. If you're not holding weights, reach those arms forward as you lower down. Smile through the burn. Whew. Good. If you finish before me, back to your blood flow work. Dance, jump jacks. This is the end of round 2. We're going to have a third and final set together. Those of you wearing the blood flow bands, we're going to let the air out as soon as we finish this little bit of blood flow. 10 more seconds. All right. If you've got a little bit more to go, feel free. Otherwise, release the air. We're going to take about a 30-second break. We'll be back for our final round. For the final round, the heaviest weight you feel confident with, you can get all the way down to that squat, hold good technique, and have some nice strong thrusters on this third and final round. All right. Let's start us off in about 15 seconds. Slight toe out. Got some lemon seeds. Elbows up. Draw that stomach in. Between 8 and 12. Takes you about 30 seconds to do about 12 reps. Breathing in on the down. Breathing out on the up. Good. Squeeze the tush. Protect that low back. Great work. Awesome. Shake it out when you finish. And then as soon as you set those weights down, back to our step or jump jacks. Depending upon your energy, depending upon your recovery, you can keep the intensity up for this third round, or you can kind of step it out, slow it down a little bit. Alrighty. Getting ready for our final set of lunges on that right leg. This time I'm going to hold a weight in each hand down at my sides. So palms forward, long step with that right leg, squeezing those shoulders back, and then between 8 and 12. It is key to count your reps on this one. You can keep it balanced from side to side. Make sure you're just kissing the ground with that trail leg. No slamming. Be gentle on your kneecap. Driving a weight on that front heel. Good. Woo. And awesome. Here we go. Second to last set. Feel free to dance, smile, celebrate what your body can do for you. Getting ready to balance our thighs out with that left leg. And let's get ready. Same thing you did on the right. Our last little bit of weight training. Square those feet. And then when you're ready, good control. Front heel planted, 8 to 12 reps. Awesome. Woo. Great rhythm. Building those thighs. Good stability in the hips. And all done there. Woo! All right. I'm just going to step it out. Kind of treat this as like a little bit of a moving cool down here. Go about 30 seconds. Open through the arms. If you want to keep it higher, you're welcome to jump. Now I'm going to transition to a little bit of a side step arm swing for the final 10 seconds here. And then we'll get ready for our cool down stretch. Great job, folks. Short and sweet. All right, fantastic. Let's go ahead and practice some balance work here. Quad stretch. Place that foot down. Draw everything up and in. Grabbing that foot. Soft bend in the knee. We're going to spend 30 seconds on this side. Make sure we don't lean back. If you want to challenge that position, focus as you bring the chest forward to drive that thigh high and reach it out. Got 10 seconds left. Whew. Try to find a spot to focus on. Good. Coming on up. If you're doing that forward fold, take note of which thigh you are stretching in between sides. A little forward fold for the toe touch. Chin to the chest. Slide the hands on down. Maintain that soft bend in the knee. And then hang out down here if you can. Take about 3 nice deep breaths into the back side of your rib cage. Draw that chin in towards the chest. And when you're ready, gradually make your way back up. Good. We'll get ready for that quad stretch on your second leg. Anchor the one foot down. Draw it all up. Grabbing that foot. Good. Go 30 seconds here. Nice and level. You can also focus on drawing that shoulder back at the same time. You want to add that forward hinge, really root down into your support leg. As the chest comes forward, that back thigh drives up. 10 seconds left. Good. Really key here. Stay level through those hips. And 2, 1. Go ahead and release. Beautiful. Behind the back stretch next, that forward fold. Walk those feet nice and wide. Well outside those hips, rooting down into your legs. Interlace those hands behind you. And then send those hips back as you push your knees nice and wide. Good. Forward fold. You bow that head down once again. 3 deep breaths into the back. Moose is ready to play. And gradually coming up from there. Fantastic. All right, let's grab a drink and then we're going to take it down to the floor for our down dog into our pigeon and our seated twist as our final cool down. All righty. So after you grab your sip of water and then making your way back to all fours, hands and knees. Hi, Moose. All righty, so down dog first. Lift those hips up, rocking forward, rocking back. We did a lot of jumping there. Maybe you're doing dancing, some side steps. Either way, pedal out those heels, get a nice lengthening for the back of the calves. We're going to start with the left leg. We're going to get a nice extension through the hip first. All I mean by that is you're going to point the toe, raise that left leg as high as you can towards the ceiling, squeeze the glute, and then we're going to bring it forward. Look to square the shin to your shoulders and making your way into pigeon. We're going to spend about 30 to 45 seconds here. You can stay tall. If you want to lower on down, kind of find that happy place where you're feeling a stretch, but you're not like in pain. Sometimes people will tend to just kind of drop into that hip of the forward leg. Stay engaged through those joints, using your muscles. If you are down low, we can come back up to that extended arm position. And if you'd like to add a quad stretch to it, if you can grab the back foot with the same side hand, use that left hand to grab the left foot. Not just breathe, just about 10 seconds left. Good. And then when you finish there, sitting onto your left hip and then going to swing that right leg around, making your way into any version of seated twist that's best for you. I like to just make my way into it, starting by hugging this thigh in. And then take that right arm, reach it around behind you. You can use that left elbow if you can fit it onto that left or right thigh. Moose, moose. Turn the head and neck as well. Let's take about 3 more deep breaths here. Lengthen on that inhale. Twist on that exhale. Good. When you're ready, ease your way out of that seated twist. And then our last time into down dog. Come on, down dog. Wide hand print once more. Turn those toes under. Breathing in on that forward rock. Breathing out as you guide that heart towards your thighs. About 3 to 5 times here. Helps to open up that mid back. Good. See if you can go ahead and lower both heels down towards the floor. And then go into that pedal. Moose, moose.
You don't sweat enough.
I don't sweat enough to draw a moose over. And then it's going to be the right leg this time, that hip extension first. So point the toe, extend that leg, reach it high towards the sky. And then bring it on forward. Nice work. Draw the shoulders back. Once again, we'll spend about 45 seconds here. Starting up tall. If you'd like to lower on down. See the little puppy over at Sharon's house. And then if you're going to go deeper into that stretch for the ultimate stretch of grabbing that trail leg, you want to go there now. Same side hand, grab the same side foot. Moosey moose, you're going to chew on my toes. Good. Almost there. When you're ready, go ahead and release that side and make your way into that seated twist. Sit on down, swing that leg around. You want to work that elbow on the thigh. To use that left hand, crawl it around. Turn the head and neck as well. Fantastic. All right, friends, go ahead and unwind yourself from there. If you can sit those legs crossed, and we'll just do our 3 final breaths together. Go ahead and bring your hands in front of your chest. As you breathe in, raise those arms up, try to lift up out of the spine. And then as you breathe out, go ahead and circle those arms down to the sides. Fantastic. Twice more. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Breathe in some love for our world. Breathe out all the tension. Good. And final time. Let's breathe in some peace. Send it out to all the beings and breathe out all the tension and conflict. Fantastic. All right. Thank you so much for moving with me today. Stay hydrated, stay healthy, and we'll be here next time. Oh, I didn't hit stop.